How's it going, guys? It's Charlie back again, and I wanted to talk to y'all today a little bit about sales because a lot of the videos on the channel they cover digital marketing, they cover search engine optimization, and all of that's great. It's great if you're getting people on the phone, but if they aren't closing, if you aren't getting money in your hand, then you're probably still out of luck. Your business probably still isn't doing that hot. So what I want to talk to y'all about today is some really basic ideas for sales that'll work for anybody who's, a landscaper all the way up to super high level executives. And this basic idea starts with the standard framework of framing and how you're going to frame yourself in relation to the person that you're talking to. And this should be something that you think about in your marketing. This should be something that you think about when you're talking to a current client. This should be something that you think about when you're doing the work that you're doing for those clients. Because how you frame yourself, how you appear to those that you are working with or those that you hope to work with, plays a big role in not only whether or not you get the job, but how much you get paid. Okay? So like an example of this that you might think of is like when you have a boss who's very overbearing and they're spending a lot of time picking on you, right? They're micromanaging your work. They're spending a lot of time. This is doing not what I want. Back to the yelling person. They're spending a lot of time micromanaging your work. They're not letting you be creative. They're not letting you work in a way that you know is most efficient. You are being framed, in context of that other person as the weaker party, right? But more importantly than that, you're also being framed as someone who can't effectively contribute new ideas. You're being framed as someone who doesn't come to the table on a project or a problem from a point of authority. It gives you a lot of detriments just kind of like conversationally, right? Which is where sales come from. So for any of you who are business owners and you had a job like this where you had an overbearing boss, if you ever asked for a raise, it was probably like a non-issue, before you ever sat at the table because there's this frame dynamic, right? Now, if you're a top-level salesperson and you are framing yourself as a very skilled mentor, right? If you're framing yourself as someone who has information to pass on, if you're framing yourself as someone who is very, very interesting, I don't know why this won't just stay where it wants to. Tell me. Driving me crazy. See, my framing in regards to this computer, it's bad. If you're a very skilled salesperson, you're going to hold some authority when someone's talking to you about the thing that you're selling, right? And that's what makes you a skilled salesperson. That's why oftentimes when you talk to like a really long-standing salesperson, very rarely will they mention how long they've been in sales, right? Because they might have only been working for this company for 2 months. But they'll say, oh yeah, I have experience in the printer roller sales industry going back about 37 years. Do you know who John Jehoshaphat is? Yep, he's the inventor of XYZ patent. And I actually helped him get that patent. So I'd like to talk to you today a little bit about the things that I'm seeing in your printing facility that I think there might be some simple solutions for. So I'm excited to help you today. Can you show me this? Right? And already this person that you're talking to, with just kind of that made up example that I just came up with there, they're getting pushed towards, oh man, this guy's got some information that can help me. I got to hear what he has to say, right? And this is very important because you framed yourself as a skilled and experienced person who has something that they need, okay? And you see this all the time with doctors, this slide that you guys have now seen about 15 times. And this is something that I have always found very fascinating, that regardless of what you know about your doctor, regardless of how long he's been a doctor, right? oftentimes regardless of the advice or the medication he prescribes, your doctor is you're going to listen to your doctor, right? It's very, very rare that you're like, man, that doctor doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm out of here. Just kind of in society, doctors have really been framed as, thanks to the length of education they have, how long they're in school, the amount of dedication it takes to become a doctor, right? When you have time one-on-one with a doctor and they're talking to you about your health, you listen and you try to take that advice as best you can, right? And so there's some things you can learn the next time you go to the doctors that will help you become a better salesperson. So when you meet with a doctor, right, usually it's just, hello there, so-and-so, I'm Dr. such and such, and I see we're doing a checkup today. Okay, how are you feeling? Right? Tell me about yourself. Tell me about what might be some problems here today. And so when I start a sales call with folks, what I'll very often do is say something along the lines of, so other than whatever actually got them on the phone, a Facebook ad, a cold call, etc., what made you decide that now is the time to get on the phone with someone like me, right? Because that's really what a doctor worried about your health is asking there. What made you decide that now is the time to come see me? And this is a really powerful way to start talking, because the doctor is looking for you to tell him how he can help, right? What's the next thing a doctor does? The next thing a doctor does is he gives you a ton of what us in the sales world would call free advice. Okay? I mean, really, if you think about it, because a doctor will probably go, okay, Charlie, well, I see you've gained a little weight, so I want you to make sure that you cut back on X and Y in your diet. I'm guessing that you eat a lot of that. Yes? Okay. Well, yeah, let's cut back on those 2 items, right? Let's keep it simple. Here's a little write-up that I did about that diet. I think it'll help, right? All this free information is coming your way, right? And if you act on that information, you will feel better, okay? And it's the same thing when you're selling, right? I think you can do this with your company. I think you can do this with your yard to help the landscaping, make working on the yard easier. I think you can add these plants. I think you could add this treatment plan if you are a doctor, right? There's all this free stuff that you can mention that will massively increase the value you're giving to these people. And you're kind of like strengthening the frame you already created. Then as you move forward, you're able to tell them about things that cost money or take time or are an investment in some way. And you can explain it to them in a way where you're diagnosing, right? Well, I see you have this problem, and I see that it's affecting you like this, right? It's hurting your business. In the case of a doctor, you can't play with your kids, whatever it might be. And because of that, you're now pushing towards a solution for them, right? And you can then tell them like, all right, well, I can help you feel better, stop going into debt with your business, cure this problem, whatever it might be, by using this solution. And then you walk them through what that solution is. Then you pitch them, right? But you pitch them in the context, in the frame of everything you just learned about them and everything they know about you. And then it becomes personalized. Okay? So this is a great trick that I think a lot of my current clients could use, and hopefully you can use as well, to really help you better understand how to sell to people in a way that actually helps them from beginning to end. So I hope you guys found that video useful. If you did, give it a like, share it around with anyone else you think might find it useful, and I'll see you in the next one.